I wouldn't be being truthful if I claimed that I hadn't used this list to my advantage. Convince myself that most women are not worth it. I understand that this appears to be a waste of my time or effort, but because I have a job, a home, and a car of my own, I am in a situation where I can afford to be. This is a shortened version of the list you were looking for. If you have any suggestions or feel it is unneeded and inefficient, please let me know. Does she bring anything to my life outside her vagina, first and foremost? I'm looking for a woman whose personality will complement mine while also separating her from the crowd, because being single allows me more opportunity to have sexual encounters. Second, I want to know if she has a life outside from working for my business, such as a room, a car, interests, etc. Thirdly, does she understand that I won't compromise my ambitions and aims to appease her? I won't give up something that would make me happy or bring me money just to please her. Fourth, she treats me worse than I deserve. I won't lie to you, not a single woman has made it beyond my list since I started using it. By staying away from these ladies, I was able to keep myself out of a number of potentially bad situations, to the point where I am content with her. Yes, my hands are becoming better since I have to massage my palms so constantly, but not in the way you may assume is dirty. But now I want to get to the point, which is something other than her chest. Does she have any further offerings? There is a double standard at work here, since women expect men to have jobs, yet men are lousy picks if they demand that women have more than $1,000 in savings. One of my acquaintances told me that another woman made fun of him for not having the newest model of automobile, even though she doesn't even own a car, and still has the audacity to do so. Because you have a vanity covered in makeup, a credit card with debt, no assets, a school loan with debt from a meaningless marketing degree, no cooking skills, and perhaps a child from a prior relationship, I think your checklist is essentially useless. If she has a retirement account, it is probably reliant on her employment. If individuals were forced to live there, it's also possible that she has an abused animal that you'll be in charge of caring for. Suggests that the great majority of single women would have to look for housing elsewhere, resulting in double standards. I talk about this subject a lot with my close friends. My buddies and I discuss how we paid off our vehicles with significant savings, yet when women see us, they comment that our BMWs aren't the most recent models. One of them often just brings meat curtains and her reproductive system to the table, despite having over $1 million in assets and paid off real estate. I wouldn't change a single thing on her list. When my friend's boyfriend goes on dates, he notices that many of the ladies have no assets while he has more than $500,000. So he confronts them and asks what they add to the relationship. One woman responded by promising him that she would take care of his finances and build him a house. He asserts that he has already won in this situation and does not want the woman who moves in with him to make him move into his basement or garage. A man who contacted us claimed that when he revealed his dating checklist to his friends, they branded him a sociopath. He was taken aback by this response. They believe that because you have things they desire and are holding them out to them like a carrot, you are having more intimate experiences of a more varied sort and will finally fall in love with them and give it to them. In your questions to me, you note that some of your friends who heard about your dating rules believe you were a psychopath. I had no idea that being a man with standards today equates to being psychopathic. In contrast, a lady with high standards is just being shrewd. I have no doubt that both men and women are advising you to man up and make a sacrifice for the welfare of the group because you are being too demanding. Why is it that having a checklist is a sign that a man is a misogynist who despises all women, yet having one is okay for a woman? They undoubtedly fell victim to the same ruse, and they now wish to see you endure the same hardships. They are stupid, and they want you to accept a fat hog beast that will wreck your life. This is because they are jealous of you and want to see you suffer in the same ways that they did. They are also jealous of the fact that you are getting more sex than they are, that you have more freedom, and that your wealth keeps increasing while they are cooped up at home paying a ham beast to do everything for them. They are also envious of you since you earn more money than they do. I really can't and won't do this. The family automobile and any other resources they have will be used as cockroach bait. Then they will entice a man into their houses so they can have occasional intimate intercourse with him. Women believe that moving into a man's home will be like being in a roach motel and that they won't be able to leave, but more often than not, men will just evict them. Where I now live, the cost of real estate is really high. A typical detached home costs somewhere around $1 million, but that's the funny part. Is that one of our friends went on a date with a woman who said that she planned to be married in a few years, work as a secretary, and buy her own home. He questioned her in regards to her plan of attack. She didn't have a home of her own, and the car she did have was virtually always brand new. She frequently had unpaid debt, and it's probable that she's leasing a car right now. The resources at your disposal are like putting peanut butter all over your genitalia. The majority of women can't get enough of their bodies, which, like sofas, chairs, and other furniture, lose value over time when they're not used. Even if a man has a mortgage on the property, women might bring depreciating assets to the table. He has an item that has increased in value because he owns it. The same is true for financial accounts like savings accounts. His stock is rising while hers is falling. She believes that a hostile merger will save her from going bankrupt and being destitute. The few ladies I've met who had managed to save hundreds of thousands of dollars all looked like they'd taken a beating from an ugly stick. They understood full well that they could not rely on men to save them. They focused their efforts instead on saving money for their personal retirement accounts. However, the majority of women think they are attractive or pretty, which makes them hopeful that they will be saved, even though the likelihood of this happening is really slim. The majority of women are not worth your time or effort. Therefore, you can typically determine this based on the list you've made for yourself. If she has no assets, you should call it quits after the first or second date. You should also look at her lifestyle and contrast it with the income she actually receives. Normally, you may study the position that a person has or the business that they work for online to find out their income.